How did you know it was time to shut it down?
In December of 2022, I was walking down Abbot Kinney with someone that I was dating at the time, and we ran into someone that he knew who happened to be an Emmy award-winning filmmaker, Oscar nominated, incredible career, was making the types of things that not necessarily that I wanted to make, but had an incredible filmmaking career and, had things on Netflix and things like that. And having dinner with this woman and her colleague, who was an award-winning journalist who had reported on historically significant events in the UK. And they were all significantly older than me, like at least, 15 years, 20 years older than me. But, she turned to me and asked me what I did for work. And instead of being able to answer and say, oh, well, I'm the author of these books and, I work on these projects, I was like, oh, I do online courses. And I didn't want to say that. I didn't know how to answer that question without, I shrunk. I wanted to tell her all about my ideas, and I wanted to tell her about my visions and all of the things that I had in my head, but that weren't actually the things that I was actively working on at that moment in time. And I was like, okay, I'm now at a point in my life where I am bumping into people that are in the reality of my dreams, like I now have access to an echelon of successful creatives that I could have never even dreamed that I'd have access to. Like, I know that I'm close, About 2 months before that, I had dinner with Neil Strauss in Malibu. If you don't know who Neil Strauss is, he has written 10 New York Times bestsellers. He wrote The Game. He wrote The Truth. He wrote Jenna Jameson's memoir, wrote Marilyn Manson's memoir, worked for the New York Times, worked for the Rolling Stone, one of my favorite writers, an incredible storyteller. And I gave him a copy of my manuscript. And I was just like, I can't even believe that I'm here now in LA with these people in this network of, like, this is unfathomable to me that I'm now breaking into this circle. I'm now breaking into these echelons. And so I knew that I was close to what I really wanted. And there was throughout a lot of 2023, I started meeting a lot of successful Hollywood film producers, screenwriters, bumping into a lot of people by chance, like, someone whose Airbnb that I rented in LA happened to be a really established screenwriter of 40 years. I was dating a screenwriter who was reasonably established and starting to work on some really cool projects. On the plane from LA to London, I was sitting next to a really, really successful producer that was working with Ben Affleck and had a multitude of blockbusters under his belt. And I was like, I can see that I'm about to make this jump, right? And so there was a lot of evidence in my reality that I was close. And also that if I kept doing what I was doing, like there was this feeling, this sinking feeling of like, I'm not proud of this. And it's not that I'm not proud of what I've accomplished, but it's just that when I'm in conversation, I can't say, oh yeah, cool, and I'm working on this, and I want to be able to say that. And I feel like I'm ready to say that. And it really, the thing for me was just like that financial safety piece. And I still don't feel 100% like I have all of the financial stability, all of the financial safety in the world. Like I would love to have more. I would love to have double or triple what I have now. But I think I found the point where I reached the end of my 4-year promise to myself. I knew that I could see the opportunities coming in like that next realm. And I have enough savings and enough safety to provide for myself in some way where I can work part-time and I can spend, maybe 70% of my time pursuing creative work.